Today in the shop we're going to be making some Christmas ornaments out of some scrap pieces of wood that I glued together and turned on the lathe. Here's my scrap pile, random pieces of oak, cherry, walnut. Pulled out a selection here, but I'm eyeing up these bigger pieces so that I can cut in a square and then arrange in a checkerboard pattern. First step here is to cut around this crack so we make sure this isn't part of the wood that we use. Cleaning off the joiner here so we can get some flat reference surfaces that we can take over to the table saw. At the table saw here, I'm using the width of the wood to set the fence, and then I'll rotate that piece of wood, lie it down flat, and then, in theory, it should be square. Roughly laying out what my plan is going to be on how I make this glue up happen. I'm marking the worst side here, so this will final up the square when I take the last cut on the table saw. Push stick and a feather board here. Don't mess around with these small pieces on the table saw. Nine separate pieces here, so it does get repetitive. Fast forwarding. Starting to look good here, but don't be fooled. I'll find a way to mess this up if you keep watching. Just wait. Got the mustard bottle out here and applying the glue to each piece. Another time-consuming process. And it's clamp time. How many clamps do you have? I've got more. Here's the first stage of the glue up, but these three pieces have to get glued up again to make the final blank that we're going to turn. Scraping off the glue that's squeezed out. Now watch closely and look at this pro move right here. You see me sanding? There's no sanding disc on there. I'm a big dummy. And now you have the walk of shame here as you see me retrieve a sanding disc that should have been on there the whole time. Look at this. As simple as that. Works way better this way. But that was really foreshadowing, because that was not the way to do that. That sanding disc is not completely flat. There's a rubber pad underneath there that makes it flexible. And now look at this rock and these gaps I have in here. This is totally unacceptable. I can't glue that together. Back over here to make that surface flat again. But that's going to throw out all the work I did to make those individual pieces square. I'm knocking off a 1/60th of an inch every time I make a pass at this. and to top it off, between user error on my part and maybe the machine's not set up correctly, I've got this horrible snipe on the ends. Ah well, I'm going to glue it up anyway and just cut off the ends, make the piece a little shorter so we can at least get it on the lathe and start turning it. So what's this? Well, I wasn't happy with that previous glue up, so I slept on it and realized I need to make 2 more glue ups and use hand tools to get everything flat. And it worked out so much better. Back over to the bandsaw to square up the original glue up after all the material I took off. Back over to the table saw with the blade set at a 45-degree angle to knock off the edges so it's a little bit easier to turn on the lathe. Here are 2 of the 3 blanks that I made. We're getting ready to start turning them. Finally getting this piece in the lathe and starting to turn it. This is just the initial process of making it round. I made a little sketch here of what I think I might want this to look like, but I'm always kind of winging it whenever I turn anything. I'm not going to explain what I'm doing here because I really don't know. I'm an amateur. I shouldn't even be wearing this loose-fitting flannel around this lathe. Sanding time now. Starting with like 100 grit. I slowly go through it to maybe 400 grit. Now this part. If I say anything interesting in this video, I take a wet cloth and get the whole piece wet, and it raises the grain, and then I re-sand it. When I learned this, it changed how smooth my parts came out. It's important, I think. Coming in here with the Scotch-Brite pad or some steel wool to get the final smoothness on here. And now, the best part, coming in here with the boiled linseed oil and making it shine and look pretty. Nice, looking good. I love this part. Cutting off the ends here with this small Japanese pull saw. Sanding the ends, smoothing them out. Putting some boiled linseed oil on the 2 other ornaments. You didn't see me turn because really how long you want to watch wood spin around for. I think they came out alright, but when you got a fresh coat of boiled linseed oil on anything and it's shiny like that under the lights, everything looks good. Picking out some brass eyes. I imagine these were arranged neatly in that container until Amazon got a hold of them. I got a small little hand drill here to just make a pilot hole. And I'm just going to hand screw these in there. And there they are. 3 Christmas ornaments that are probably too big and heavy to hang on your tree.